Do you realize that up until the year 2000, helmet-to-helmet quarterback hits on quarterbacks were legal? That was a thing that you could do. You could hit the quarterback in the head.
And they were encouraged. All right, Mike, we're back here with more NFL news questions. You're the expert. You're going to answer it. Prips. This one's sponsored by Prips. This one specifically, Mike, take it away.
Why is John Elway's final drive versus the Browns known as the drive and the best drive of all time when I've seen so many more impressive drives in the Super Bowls itself? He then goes to cite Eli Manning's drives, Stafford and Cup, Roethlisberger and Santonio Holmes, Brady comeback versus Falcons. Well, my friend, you are citing a bunch of games that happened after the NFL rule changes occurred, where now at the end of games, it's more impressive when the defense actually holds them out of the end zone. Let me tell you, once upon a time, you didn't just walk the ball down the field for a touchdown at the end of the game all the time. I will say that the Steelers' drive against the Cardinals is iconic, as was Eli Manning's drive. But it was a different era of the NFL. Elway was on the road in an insane, this was the old dog pound. You had dog bones on the field. Look at Elway's jersey in that game. He is a mud-caked, he looks like one of those Godzilla villains. He's got mud dripping off of him. He's just a slop fest. His jersey's torn.
Which Godzilla villain?
The smog monster, I think. He's looking like a ball of mud. They're playing. There's not even grass on the field. Look at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. It's just a mud hole. This is a different era of football, and the degree of difficulty on some of the plays Elway executes on this drive are preposterous. He converts a 3rd and 18, throwing a ball through a brick wall. Look, buddy, here's what I'm going to say, and I'm not trying to take a whole lot away from Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is the best quarterback of the generation. He's one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks to ever play football. But even Tony Romo, maybe the biggest Mahomes stan in the world, who will not shut up about Patrick Mahomes when you're watching a game he's commentating, even Tony Romo pointed out in these playoffs, Patrick Mahomes did not make it. He made one throw into coverage the entire postseason, and it was intercepted. Mahomes is throwing to wide open guys. This is just a different era of the NFL, and that's plain and simple why John Elway's drive is so impressive. And as a final note, yes, this is the Broncos homer in me to a degree, but I'm going to throw a few other quarterbacks out there from the era as well. You could bring John Elway into today's game, and he would throw for 5,500 yards a season. I'm going to go with that with Marino. I'm going to go with that with Steve Young as well. There are a few quarterbacks who you could pull from 1995, and they would absolutely murder the NFL right now because the degree of difficulty for quarterbacks was so much more difficult. Do you realize that up until the year 2000, helmet-to-helmet quarterback hits on quarterbacks were legal? That was a thing that you could do. You could hit the quarterback in the head.
And they were encouraged.
Yeah, it was a thing that people... So the long story short, I'm not going to mock you too much because you're an NFL newbie fan, but there is no comparison to a drive you watch in 2024 versus a drive that happened in 1987, 1988.